Oh yeah, and that's like a good segue to my other question. Like I, as you know, as people know, I'm part of the bold story. It was like a
You are the
Kraaifontein.
bold
Yeah.
story.
But now people also want to know, like, yo, why is it taking so long? Why is the bold taking so long? And why is the bay taking so long as well?
A simple
So
job taking so long.
yeah.
Why
So
is this? Why?
basically, in my general question as well is like the bold, the way you planned it, is it going accordingly or is it taking longer than expected? And also, what's the situation with the bay?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. You asked me first, why is it taking so long, right? Okay, so like I told you, when I started the whole process, it wasn't supposed to be a full flash and all of that stuff. It was, sorry, it was just supposed to be a color code the engine, the engine bay, and then rebuild the motor and put it back in so I can drive it daily again, which I did daily before. But then as it went on, I obviously added to what I want to do, and obviously adding stuff is like adding to the budget. I need to make the budget bigger to compensate for everything. And I'm still like a full-time student. I don't have a part-time job. I don't have any form of income at the moment besides like doing repairs on air ride setups or fitting coilovers, or if ISTIC has work for me, then I'll go do that. But that is, how can I say, my income is very slow, so I can't work as quick as someone that will have an income. So, and besides the fact that the income is the problem, or the financials to get the build done, because everyone knows you need like quite a lot of money to build the full car.
Obviously.
Yeah, and I knew that, but yeah, anyway, I'm in it now.
Yeah.
And so that is the main reason why it's taking long. I don't have the funds to just finish the car up. And then also the second point of why it's taking so long is I'm the only one working on the car. Like I'm doing all the prep work, I'm doing all the everything I'm doing. Like I do the stripping, I do the assembly, most of the time I'm alone in the garage. Like there will be one or two people around me, but not really there to work. Because I'm very specific on how I want certain things, so I'm not gonna be comfortable with someone else is doing it for me. Especially with a bay, because I want it perfect. I want it to look as good as it looks in the pictures in person.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah. Understand.
So I'm the only one working on the car, which takes long. Thirdly, I don't have any body work experience. I don't have any prior experience. I haven't sprayed the car. I haven't done primer work before. I haven't done body work at all before. And that was more like a learning curve for me. And as I went on, I had to do my research and all of that stuff to be able to do the job. I had to get advice from people, and I had to speak to some guys that's in the field, so that they can like give me tricks of the trade, if I can put it that way, to get stuff done. But obviously I still wasn't. I'm still not my job, so I'm not gonna do it as efficiently and as quick as the person that can do it. So that's the third point why it's taking so long. And then also there was a lot of hiccups along the way, like when I had to do the wheels. Like I sold my previous wheels before I had my next setup perfectly fitted and everything. Or like I told you, I had to do some work to get the wheels to fit.
Yeah.
So I had the problem of like I needed to find someone that can do the job for me, and I needed to get adapters made for the wheels to fit, and all of that stuff took time and money. While in the meantime, while I had to do that, I had to move away from the bay, because now I had to spend money on getting the wheels to fit. And then after I got the wheels to fit, so I could go back to the bay, so I could spend money on getting consumables and all of that stuff that I needed to do the bay and so on. So that's basically in a nutshell why it's taking 2 years for a 6-month build. You understand?
Yeah.
And
the bike?
then just hold on. I want to tell you why you asked me also if it's going as planned.
Yeah.
I think I answered that it's not going as planned. And what I learned out of this whole process is, first of all, don't say too much, because you know, people, there's always negativity coming your way, and it does influence. Like, I've learned that it does influence me, like all the negative energy that comes my way with the whole build story and whatever. It does impact you, man, in a certain way. It's not saying that it's gonna be emotionally, I'm so sad now, whatever, but the energy, it gets to you, man. Like, you feel like you're not moving anywhere, you feel like you're not getting any work done, but you are working. And like, it slowed me down a lot, like I lost motivation along the way and whatever, but I've always been motivated to finish the car, to get it done. That's my goal. Yeah. I don't care if it takes me 10 years to finish my car. I'm gonna drive my car out of the garage. That's my thing, which people don't understand. And like, I appreciate everyone that like gives me input and like supports me and like.
But it must be like constructive. It can't be like breaking you down.
What do you mean?
Criticism. When they give you like advice and stuff, it shouldn't be like
breaking
down. Yeah. It must be constructive. Yo, why don't you do this like this?
I must admit, there's not as much bad criticism towards me with what I do. I know this guy, like, they don't say it. They probably don't say it, but they think it. But it doesn't bother me anyway. But the guys that actually support me and that actually follow what I'm doing and that actually appreciate the amount of work that's going into the boy, they've been helping me a lot. They've given me advice. Even the guys that aren't doing it, the guys that I motivates me, because they tell me how much it motivates them. And then that makes me want to...
It's like a chain reaction.
Exactly, and that makes me want to push more and do more and get more done. So that's basically, to sum up, that's basically why it took long and how it didn't go as planned. Because the car was supposed to be done in under a year, and we're going for over a year in 6 months now already. But what I've also learned is that I've seen that the guys that actually restore their cars and rebuild their cars, that actually take 5 years or 3-4 years to get it done, the quality builds that I've seen, it's worth it. Like, you can't rush a car, like, especially like with a body and stuff like that. There's always imperfections. Like, you can sand it 100 times, you can take 10 years, there's always gonna be somewhere there's gonna be an imperfection with especially in the bay, because there's a lot of parts where you can't get in and it's tight there and whatever. So, like, that's why I say you can't speed up, you can't rush that process. You just need to go with the flow, and you need to just go along as it goes on. Like, I plan, what I've learned to plan is more set it out, set the goals instead of planning. I set the goals for myself, and this is what I want to achieve. I won't say I have a deadline, but I give myself dates to when I would like smaller stuff to be done. You know?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, there are influences around how long it takes, because sometimes I need to get something done which I don't have the equipment for, so I need to take it to someone else, or I need to get someone else to assist me with it.
Which also takes time. Yeah.
Which takes time and money as well. So all of those things play a big role in why it takes so long, but I want to assure everyone that I plan on driving my car out of that garage. I'm not gonna give up on it because it takes long. And like, in this 2 years, I've learned patience to a level where I don't think anyone will understand how much patience I've like gained in this whole process. But it's been worth it. I've been enjoying the whole journey of building the car.
What's the name? What did I want to say now? Wait, 2 questions before I come to the pay. Do you think taking long with your build, or build in general, is a good thing or a bad thing?
Taking long with a build, no? It depends on why are you taking long. Are you getting work done, or is it just standing? You see, so I don't have anything like I feel like taking longer to get a bolt done would be better because you have more time to get rid of all the imperfections on the bolt. Like whatever you're doing, whether it's building an engine, building a race car, there's always something that you can do better with time. So like I would say, like if a bolt takes longer than it should, or if it takes long in general, then I mean, why not? Like nothing is, unless you have a deadline, which I also think that you shouldn't put deadlines on work like that, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have a deadline. Nothing goes as planned, or according to my build, nothing went according to plan for what I had planned for the car. And like even like I wanted to do more stuff, so I added to the list. So even that didn't go as planned. The initial list of things that I wanted to do. So I would say, I actually forgot what I wanted to say now.
You were gonna say now. You were gonna say there's no time limit.
Oh yeah. The whole thing of deadlines. Like if you say you tell yourself, okay, 3 months from now there's a car show, which is mostly the case in my line of what I'm doing to my car now. Okay, maybe not like I'm going into detail with it or in depth with the whole build, but most of the time people would say they're building their car for this show or that show because they were invited, or they know the organizer, or whatever the case may be, they're building it for a show. And what I've learned is that nothing goes according to plan, so you might just miss your deadline, or it's gonna be the last few days before the show. It's gonna be up and down and stressful, and because you're far from done and you need to get it done. Like this season, West Coast Customs and Hot Rods, Gas Monkey Garage and all of that stuff. Unless that's your profession and that's what you do and you're paying for it to be done, then you can expect that. But if you're doing it backyard or garage build or whatever I'm doing, whatever you want to call it, you can't rush a process like that, man, because now at the end of the day, if your things don't go as planned, your deadline isn't gonna move up for you. So, like I said, I've seen guys that they go to the show and then either they don't get it done and there's stuff missing, or there's noticeable stuff missing that I think people won't notice, which most people do notice, or I would notice it because I try to perfect the small things on my car. So I'm gonna look at all the small things on someone else's build, either it's gonna motivate me or it's gonna put me off.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So like that's why I say you shouldn't put a deadline on it, because most of the time, especially with cars, stuff don't go as planned. Even like machining stuff, if you need to get stuff machined, if you're going like, besides just doing the whole dress up, fitting coilies or fitting air and wheels, then maybe you can build that for a show. But if you're actually doing a full build, then I don't think you should put.
There's no time limit on it.
Yeah, and that is why also people always ask me, so when do you think your car is going to be done? And I tell them when it's done, because I don't have a deadline set, but I would like to get it to drive ASAP.
There would be a deadline. If the
funds
were there.
If the funds were there, then it would have probably been done by now. But it's not done, so I don't have a deadline, and I don't have the funds, so I don't have a deadline.
Okay. The other question was, before I get to the pay, was, do you think that you mentioned that you had no experience on like
bodywork and so on.
And bodywork and engine. You're still learning it, obviously. But now
suspension is obviously what I do.
Yeah. Do you think that will mess up the build?
No. I think because I don't have the knowledge and the fact that I'm actually doing the effort to find out how to do it properly,
but
and I'm actually setting me back with time, but I'm actually learning something, a new skill, and I'm taking the time to perfect my skill.
Okay.
on that specific
Yeah.
thing. So I don't think it will influence
Mess up the build.
the quality
Okay.
of my build.
The last one is the bay. What's the situation
The situation with the bike
with the
currently.
bay?
So
What's the
currently,
situation?
so the boy's in color. Let me first put that out.
Uh-huh.
But since the color was done, since I don't have any prep work experience and so on, there was a few spots, like 3 or 4 spots, where I didn't prep it properly. So the paint, the primer under the paint, lifted. So I don't know, there was something wrong with how I sprayed it or my technique that I used, or I think something with the press or something, I don't know. The people, like someone that's a spray painter will be able to tell you why I did that. And so I had to, after it was painted, I had to actually go and open up the paint and sand it down again there at that specific spots, and I had to use a special type of filler to get it to be straight again. So that took me another probably 3-4 weeks.
But you learned basically.
Yeah, no,
Because it does,
I
'cause it
obviously
does come
learned
back
how
to my
to-
question of
Yes.
does it?
Yes, because at the end of the day is I learned what to not do next time when I primer.
Okay.
You know?
So
And
you take every situation
I
as
learned
a
from
learning
it.
curve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole build is a learning curve. Because I mean, I've been working with E right now for the past 4 years, 3-4 years, and like that is my specialty, you know, and it's already been done on the car. It's like, what else can I do? Like I can't. What would be the next suspension thing to do on the car would probably to get it to sit lower, which it can't go at the moment because
Body
it's
slam.
line framed. Yeah, I don't think I want to body drop this car though, but I would want to get it to lay a little bit lower, just to be lower
The lowest
than
or
the
lower?
lowest the Golf can go. Because the thing is, man, with the Golf, like as I showed you before,
Yeah.
when you lower a Golf to past its limit where it shouldn't go, like my car and the rest of the slammed MK1s in Cape Town are, the control arm, or there's a part of the body which is lower than, obviously the lowest point of the body already touches the floor. That's why it's laying frame. And with the Golfs, the problem that we have is the oil, the sump or the oil pan sits lower than the lowest point of the body. So when I air out the car and then it will lay on the sump, so there's like a gap, like there will always be, it won't lay as low as the rear will lay. And my goal has always been to get both to lay the same. The fitment must be the same, or at least lower in front, because most guys, or like most, let me not say guys, because people get offended, but a lot of people, like, the cars are lower at the back because it's harder to get the front low. And like I think I've perfected it to the point where my fitment is right around, it's the same. But I would still have to get the car lower.
And getting back now to the bay, why is it taking so long?
Does that question? So
There is color on.
the what I'm waiting for now. So I prepped it now. The last work that I've done now is I fixed the imperfections that there was off the paint, and I fixed it and I've gotten it right and everything. And now recently I stripped the car again, because the first coat that we sprayed was with a lot of parts on that I should
Are you
have
talking about the
removed.
color?
Yes, when we sprayed color there was a lot of stuff on that I should have taken out, but it was a rust thing because I got someone else to do the spray work for me. I didn't do the spray work myself, I did all the prep work.
Okay.
Because I wanted the finish to be as dope as I could get it.
Yeah.
And I just felt I wasn't confident enough to spray because I wanted a nice finish on my paintwork, and I didn't want to waste paint and all of that stuff. Because wasting paint would be wasting money. And so
100%.
I decided I'd rather get someone to do the paintwork for me, a friend of mine. But now the problem that I'm sitting with, I can't move my car. So I can't.
There's no engine in there.
There's no engine in, there's no front suspension in the car. So I can't even stow the car. So I can't get it to his place to get the spray work done. So now we need to find a time for when we're both free so that I can get him with his equipment and everything to come here to come do the spray work. And now that is basically slowing me down at the moment because he is quite busy and I have campus and all of the stuff in the week, you know, so that is now the next step. The next step would be for him to come and finish the paint work, which will hopefully happen soon.
Soon can be next year as well.
Soon can be next year, but but the other thing is why I don't put strain on getting it done is because while I'm working on the car, I still try to gather my funds to do the next big thing that needs to be done. Okay. You know, which is getting the motor ready to put it in. Because if the buy is done and I don't have money to do or buy a new motor, then it's still gonna stand. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm not putting too much strain on getting the paint done because in the meantime, I still found more imperfections in the buy that I'm fixing. So by the time he gets here, it will be perfect.
Okay. Let me check if that's all my questions.
I think that's...
Yeah, that's basically all the questions.